Hi students, this video is going to show you what your assignment is for your sense of place investigation. Here is what it looks like in Google Classroom. There is your investigation document, there is an example, and the photographers for you to investigate are down here. So to begin, let's go to the investigation document. Here are the three photographers that I told you about in the previous video. Ansel Adams, Louis Spaltz, and Imogen Cunningham. You're going to select one of these three and complete the following investigation. To begin our sense of place unit, you're going to select one of them. Next, here's where you answer. It's only 4 basic questions. Number 1, write a short biography of your photographer. What is their personal background? Summarize it in your own words and look for interesting information that goes beyond when and where they were born. It's always great if you can find facts that are relating to photography too. There is the example. So here it is. This is a photographer that is not one of your choices. It used to be one, and I think that works really well for showing you how this works. Here is their short biography. This is about the right amount, and remember, this has to be in your own words. You can't copy paste. Question number 2. What kind of places did your photographer shoot? Remember, this is a sense of place. So, what kind of place? Only answer looking at place photos. So if your photographer happened to do portraits too, don't use a portrait photo here. Ignore any other types of photography, portrait, documentary, still life, etc. They show that are available when you research your photographer. So let's see what this photographer, Henry Cartier-Bresson, what the student found. What kind of place? They wrote, Henry liked to take documentary photos of places and stop motion in busy or common streets and on riverbanks. Next, number 3, and this is one of the most important questions. Select one photo of theirs that you especially like and paste below. Remember, Command-Control-Shift-4 will allow you to copy anything from the internet, and then you just press Command-V to paste it. Right here, if you click in your document when you say Command-V, it'll place that photograph exactly where you want it. Explain what you think the photographer is expressing. Make sure to address how each one of the following contribute to what is expressed. So don't just tell me what the camera angle is. How does that camera angle contribute to what is expressed? Let's look at the example. The camera angle is from underneath to show the top of the spiral staircase. It creates an odd spatial sense that focuses attention on the spiral shape instead of the faces. That's the effect. Depth of field is the next one. So let's see what this student wrote. There is a large depth of field. Everything is in focus from the faces to the very back of the spiral. This is the important part. This clarity also emphasized the spiral shape, the most important element in the photo. So make sure you tell me how the depth of field is contributing to what is expressed. And the last one, framing composition rule of thirds. Now remember, in order to determine if it satisfies the rule of thirds, you have to first find the center of interest. The first head that starts is to the left, and the center is closer to the bottom middle. But I think that the center of interest is the center of the spiral, which does not fall on a thirds line. So this photo does not satisfy the rule of thirds. The fact that the center of interest is near the center accents the spiral feeling. So they've both determined that it doesn't satisfy the rule of thirds and also helped determine how the center of interest and the composition contribute to what's expressed when this photograph happens to be that sense of the spiral feeling. The last question, number 4, is also super important. Number 3 and number 4 are by far the most important questions. Plan where and how you will shoot your photos. Where exactly will you shoot? So you have to be very specific here. You can't just say outside. Tell me where outside or where inside. What will you include in the photo? How will you approach the place? Up close, far away, from a low or a high angle. Remember, a low angle is when you're down low looking up, and a high angle is when you're up high looking down. What kind of shutter speed? Is shutter speed important? I bet aperture is important. Do you want a small aperture so everything is in focus, or a large aperture for a very small depth of field? How will you include inspiration in your photos from your investigative photographer? That's also really important. You have to show how your research is informing your ideas. Be very specific. So if we look at the example, this person said, I would like to shoot my photos outside along the fence by the track and small building near the parking lot or by windows. I will include the edge of the ticket building, the fence, parking lot, maybe the water tower, and the track football field or the windowsill. I want to use unusual camera angles like Cartier-Bresson to bring attention to the structure's unique architecture. I will use a small aperture so I have a large depth of field so everything is in focus. I will also make sure that my shutter speed is fast enough so the photo won't be blurry. A small aperture and fast shutter speed shouldn't be a problem because there is so much light outside. I want the buildings to be in the background with a large depth of field with the fence close up. In the other photos, I will include the edge of the wall from many angles. My inspiration theme will be beyond the reach. I will show a world that feels big and full of dreams that may or may not come true. The unusual angles will present a world that is a bit unsettled but full of possibilities. So this student really did a great job of how connecting their plan to their research, explaining where and how they're going to shoot, and also what they want to communicate. So good luck. The example is in your assignment right here. There's the investigation, there's the example, and there is the original PowerPoint. Also know that I will also post this video and the video with me explaining this PowerPoint for you to use on Monday. So good luck, and I'll see you on Tuesday, I sure hope. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.